In the bottom right, in the blue, Team Liquid, give it up, it is CLEM. And in the bottom left, in the red, from Kaizen Gaming, it is Innovation. Alrighty, so TVT to end things off with. I've really been so blessed to be able to see these World Team Leagues happening, to see the money that has been poured into StarCraft, even after, you know, Blizzard has kind of, in a sense, taken a step back from the competitive side of StarCraft. It's awesome that we still have a community that is able to continue to push, continue to sponsor, and continue to see a game that is loved so dearly continue to grow. So, whether it be Shopify Rebellion or, you know, even some of these teams like Kaizen Gaming or Team Liquid who have histories and love for this game, it's really cool to see. Now we do see CLEM making things interesting, going into a 2 racks situation. Let's have a single, oh no, he's going into double gas. So it looks like he is going to be going into maybe double Reaper here. We'll have to wait and see kind of where he wants to go from here. Definitely looks like double Reaper, and again, on a map like Beckett Industries, where you have that very short rush distance, going into something like this definitely could make it worth it. And yeah, it looks like it is going to be double Reapers coming out from CLEM. Now, does he just go mass Reaper at this point, or is this going to be a keep him at home kind of situation? There we go. Alright, Reapers making their way across the map on both sides. Innovation going to be going into an expansion, while it does look like CLEM is just going to go up the tech tree, getting that factory. So be it a little bit later than Innovation, since Innovation only was going into that one barracks. CLEM definitely going to be going a little bit more aggressive, or more tech heavy, I should say, behind this. There we go. Maybe about 4 Hellions, or excuse me, 4 Reapers with a couple of Hellions. Does get the expansion kill. Innovation's still going to be able to kind of pull this back, eventually still keep his expansion going, to eventually finally be made. One Reaper does end up going down, as it does look like Innovation will eventually kind of win this out. No, CLEM holding strong, gonna keep going into the main base. There we go, does deny the worker once again into the natural. Marines and a tech lab going down onto the starport. There's a cyclone on the way as well, but I do get a little bit scared here for Innovation. Is he gonna be able to have enough to hold on to this? Another Reaper coming in for CLEM from across the map. Kills off both of the Marines, and the Cyclone is now alive, but there's still a lot of army here for CLEM. The Cyclone eventually does go down. I mean, it's very, very low. Yeah, this goes down. More Marines trying to come through. A medevac now here for CLEM, and it looks like Innovation just does not have an answer to this, unfortunately. 9 SCVs have gone down, and more units still streaming across the 4 CLEM. GG's though, and Innovation falls 0-1 to CLEM. In the bottom right, in the blue from Team Liquid, give it up, it is CLEM. In the top left, in the red, it's Innovation from Kaizen Gaming. Right, so Once again, special thank you to Eastwood for doing the observing. That's been really interesting to see these maps played out, and it definitely gives us cool atmosphere that we haven't seen since back in like Wings of Liberty, of these big team league games, and really, in a sense, making a 1v1 game a team game. You know, nowadays we have things like League of Legends, we have Valorant, we have Overwatch, we have all of these different games that require a team to participate, requires a team to win. You may have one player that's like your star person, but for the most part, it's a win or lose by your team. And StarCraft has always been one of those just 1v1 games. Like, yeah, there's different modes you can play, but for the most part, it's a 1v1. You are in control of your own destiny kind of situation. But these team league games really give it that team feel, and allows you to not only represent your team in a way other than just 1v1s, but as a group, trying to strategize against your opponent of who should play against who, what maps should you play against, and different styles and stuff like that. So it's really cool to see this being brought back on the big scale. Obviously, you know, there's still been small events, small tournaments, small leagues that have been going on forever, since even, I mean, like, the team leagues in general have stopped, like for the bigger like GSL kind of team leagues, but it's just cool to see this being put back together and how well it's being done. So as we get into the next game, though, we do see a little bit of this different styles coming out here. It does look like CLEM went into just a one racks expand this time. He does have the factory down. He is making the expansion. Like, it just went down. And behind this, we do see Innovation kind of going the same route. Looks like Innovations is going to be a little bit behind, though. This is going to be a Marine and a Reaper to open things off. Hellion is out. A second Hellion on the way for CLEM. And a starport to follow things up with. So, not a bad start. Now, we saw CLEM going into this kind of 2 racks opener in the first one and getting super aggressive. It doesn't look like he wants to get too aggressive in the second game. I mean, he is going to go across with the Reapers and Hellions and try to put on some pressure. But I think with Innovation going with basically the same build, it should be interesting. Hellion for Innovation will actually scout out the push coming across from CLEM. Will return back home. He does have Marines and a Marauder to deal with this. Does he have enough here? A couple of grenades will go down. Unfortunately, Innovation taking a blunt force of the object as CLEM going to be pushing into the mineral line on the natural, forcing the pick off and the pull off here of those SEVs. Now the Hellions and the Reaper will eventually start cleaning house, killing off 5, 6 SEVs. Both sides are going to be going into the Cyclone. Oh my goodness. Going to be going into the Cyclone and Raven style with tanks and Marines on the way. But CLEM definitely has started things on a high note. Even gets away with all of his units. Off 7 workers altogether. Not a bad start for CLEM. Now, Innovation will have to struggle to try to catch back up. He is only like 3 workers behind, though, 4 workers, which he can definitely make up. But CLEM going into a 3rd base behind this. He's got tanks. He's got that Raven, or 2nd Raven, about to pop out. And that will allow him to continue with these small little pushes. We'll have to see how CLEM handles push, as Innovation himself is looking to go across the map now. He has 2 Cyclones, he's got a Raven, he's got some Marines. This definitely is going to be a scary push coming out from Innovation, but I don't know. I almost feel like CLEM is going to have enough. I mean, he's got the tank. The first Cyclone does go down. Innovation has the Raven, but doesn't really have enough to guess, get on top of the tank for the moment. He takes the third base behind this, and eventually we do see CLEM kind of pushing back or pulling innovation from his own base. Alright, Marine does go forward. Just try to see where the tank's at, where am I going to get fired from, and is it going to be worth the push? It does not look like that is going to be the case, so innovation just returns back home. He gets his third base up. He's, getting Vikings. He's really just trying to build up an army, as well as get his upgrades getting ready to start. We do see CLEM taking double E-base. He's got Stim on the way, finally at 6 minutes. Already has his third base done, getting some good minerals coming out from that. Innovation, though, going into double factory production. Is he going to go more into a mech style from here? Definitely looks like it. He's got Vikings on the way. He's got the tanks. CLEM looking to push across. He's got 4 tanks, a handful of Marines. He's got the Ravens. I think he really needs, and does look like now innovation going to be going into that double armory to start his mech upgrades. I don't know how I like this for innovation. He does have the Viking count, which is going to help a little bit against us, especially with the Ravens trying to come in here. CLEM, though, going to be able to get on top of a couple of the tanks, pulling forward with his siege tanks to siege them up. Turrets, though, coming down from innovation, as there's just not a lot of Marines here for CLEM. Able to kill off 7 SCVs. Vikings will be able to kind of even things up in the sky for CLEM. Even gets the Raven. Now we'll allow him to start kind of pushing forward with the tanks, and forces a pickup onto the third base from innovation. So not a bad start at all. We even see more army coming across the map now for CLEM. The tanks slowly starting to siege forward for CLEM as well. And really, innovation just has a handful of tanks and a couple of Vikings. There's not a whole lot here to really do, and I think CLEM just attacking at the right time. Even has the Marines slowly coming down towards the bottom to go into the natural, getting on top of the tanks before they have a chance to siege. Gets the second tank. The other tank's going to go back to try to help deal with this, but GG's. And like that, CLEM takes the second game.